Hey guys, it's Nana Plays Games, aka MPG. So, my boyfriend wanted to make a video and felt like it'd be a better fit for my channel than his, so we have this. Unfortunately, I won't be in this video, but my next video will be back to me, so I'll see you soon. Be nice and enjoy!
I want to preface this video by stating that I'm neither a competitive player in either one of these games. I'm at Legend Ranked and Crossworlds, and I've dabbled a little bit in Mario Kart World, and I've watched a decent amount of content on both. I just wanted to state that so you guys know my perspective and know that my opinion is not a definitive fact. Both of these games have many similarities, such as being mascot racing games, randomized items, and a bit of luck involved. However, if you look deeper into both titles, you'll begin to see much more differences as you play or watch the game. I'm going to compare both of them in many aspects and then explain to you which I feel is better, starting with the basic mechanics. When it comes to mechanics, Mario is better than Sonic when it comes to direct gameplay. While snaking and tricking in Sonic is extremely satisfying because you are rewarded constantly, Mario Kart allows for way more improvisation during races. You'll see much cooler clips of the parkour system than in Sonic. Mario's mechanics allow for much more player expression and creativity. You can easily play the game like every other Mario Kart previously, or take insanely cool looking shortcuts. It's up to the player to experiment and find the optimal routes that makes the game extremely fun to replay and especially time trial. However, Sonic has a gadget system and vehicle customization. This allows you to customize exactly how you want to race. There's no hidden stats in this game to my knowledge, so you can choose exactly who you want to play and how you want to play. If you like bagging, you can do exactly that. If you hate playing against random items, you can use gadgets to make it so you'll most likely get certain items you like, or get stunned less by other items. There's a ton of choices here, which allows the player to truly have a unique experience. While Mario definitely has better in-game mechanics, Sonic has much better customization and allows the player to pick exactly how they want to play. Any issue you have with Sonic, you can fix it with gadgets, compared to Mario Kart where if you have an issue with the game, you're stuck with it. For item play, it's easily Sonic Crossworlds. I can make an entire video on the problems of Mario Kart item issues, but to prevent this video from being 2 hours long, I'll list a few problems with the game and then explain how Crossworlds deal with those issues in a much better way or even eliminates them. In Mario Kart, most games are focused around bagging to get a dodge item, which will let you have invincibility against the sock. The sock is an item that stuns everybody in front of you, shrinks them, and removes their items. The only counterplay to this item is to have an invincibility or dodge item. Now this might not sound too bad on paper, but in a competitive lobby, it makes it so anytime you don't have a dodge, you're at risk of randomly getting socked and losing all your items. And if you're shrunken, you could be crushed by bigger players passing by you. This will punish you even further. Because of this item, most players bag until they have a dodge so they could eliminate the luck factor of the game and make it easier to race normally. Sock is the only item that most competitive players plan their entire race around and can easily make or break your race. The invincibility or dodge items include the Boo, Bullet Bill, Star, and Mega Mushroom. Each of these give the player total invincibility from all other items in the game and allows them to take shortcuts. Players usually bag for one of these items and a mushroom item so they could dodge any items and take shortcuts afterwards. Because of how powerful these are, games revolve around bagging until you get a dodge, using a dodge when you think a sock might happen, and then using mushrooms to take all the final shortcuts. The Boo is easily the best item in the entire game because it allows the user to take shortcuts, steal items, and become totally invincible. This includes losing collision entirely with obstacles and players, where at least with the other invincibility items, you can still bump into other invincible players. Stealing an item also is insanely good as it allows you to mess up other players who are about to take shortcuts and steal their item, and if they're bagging, you'll get an amazing item in a top spot after taking all those shortcuts. Finally, we have the annoying items. These don't have huge issues, just minor inconveniences for the player. Coin block, coin, and coin cell are all somewhat nice when you're low on coins, but are otherwise useless. Coin cell can be used as protection and hit any player in the front of the road, but it still supplies coins to players ahead of you. The same thing applies to the coin block. You get a decent amount of coins, but you leave a huge amount on the track for players behind you. Boomerang, Ice Flower, and Fire Flower are all decent attack items, however they stay in your inventory for a while, making it annoying to get to your second item. Blooper is an item that messes with the handling for other players and covers their screen. It can disrupt them a little bit, but doesn't affect them much unless they are taking a very tight or specific shortcut. Finally, the Kamek is an item that changes depending on what track it's played on. It can either be extremely helpful, nearly useless, or directly sabotage the user's race. To summarize how item play works in Mario Kart World, players bag to get dodge or shortcut items and use those to dodge, sock, or other important attack items while taking those shortcuts. This is the most consistent way to win because there is no warning or telegraph for most of these items, and the ones that do have a telegraph usually don't give enough time for the player to react, besides the blue cell of course. It becomes a guessing game for the player on what would be the most important time to dodge a sock or take a shortcut. It's extremely luck based, and even the best players can get terrible placements. Now that we've established the item play for Mario, let's talk about Sonic's item play. First off, Crossworlds does have a few items that parallel Mario Kart's. For example, the boxing gloves are like the cells in Mario Kart, but I want to talk about Sonic's equivalent to the sock. The slime is a combination of the blooper and sock. It has a huge telegraph which gives players about 2 to 3 seconds to react and dodge it with either a deflecting item, invincibility item, or a boost item. It attacks all players, and instead of stunning the player, it just removes their items, covers their screen, and slows them down. There are many ways to dodge this item, and because it's so telegraphed, it makes it much easier to play the game without needing to always keep that item in the back of your head. Sonic also doesn't have any useless items. Sonic has an Omotsal which fills a similar role as the coin items in Mario Kart, however, it allows you to take shortcuts while giving you wings. You need to time it properly, but if you do, it's extremely rewarding. You don't take the shortcuts as fast as a normal speed item, but it gives it a use which makes it so you never feel like you got a bad item. Even the green glove has a lock-on feature, making it easier to hit players directly in front of you compared to the normal green cell. Sonic also has way more telegraphs to their items. Anytime a homing item is held by an opponent behind you, a reticle appears, allowing the player to recognize and mentally prepare to protect themselves against it or work around it. You can even see every item that all other players are holding, compared to Mario Kart where you could only see certain items like cells and mushrooms. This prevents you from ever being blindsided by an item you literally cannot react to or don't know about. Finally, the dodge items can't do everything. Items like the Tornado, Sealed, and Void Wisp allow users to protect themselves, but they can't take shortcuts using those items alone. Items like the Drill or Monster Truck only last a second if you use it in a top spot, and in general, most items work slightly different from each other. For example, the Tornado only defends you against certain items, but stage obstacles or items like the Monster Truck can still hurt you, compared to Mario Kart where the Star and Mega Mushroom easily fill the same exact purpose. In Sonic, you can focus much more on your actual driving skills compared to the items. You definitely still need to play around items, but not to the point where everyone needs to bag or play around the possibility of an item existing. Instead, you can react to all items around you and properly change the way you drive to avoid them. For example, you can see if a player near you has a tornado and avoid it, but if a player has a horn in Mario Kart, there is no way for you to know not to be near them, as they won't show the item. And again, gadgets allow players to have much more control over item play, so Sonic is definitely much better and much more balanced when it comes to item play. Finally, there's track design. I'm just going to cut straight to the chase with this one. We've all heard about the intermissions and how boring they are. I personally love the idea of them, and I feel like if Nintendo implemented them differently, they could have been extremely fun. The reason why intermissions are seen as such boring experiences is because they don't have a lot of turns, walls, or rails. This makes it so you need to drive in a boring way instead of the cool expressiveness in the normal tracks. This also makes it so bagging is much more powerful because of all the easy shortcuts there are instead of the cool ones you can do on levels like Dry Bones Burnout or Whistle Stop Summit. Sonic is just way more consistent. They have some tracks that hit the same highs as Mario Karts and never hit the same lows as the intermissions. So in general, I'd have to say Sonic is the better competitive title. It's a much more competitively balanced game, it's extremely consistent with its gameplay, and allows so much fine-tuning that players can play exactly how they want. If they want to bag like in Mario Kart, they can. If they want to freely front one without the worry of items sending them straight to last, they can. So the game doesn't have parkour, which is extremely fun, but it doesn't have any of the glaring issues that Mario Kart has. Mario Kart World is the only game in the series to have parkour, so if you enjoyed Mario Kart 8 and the other games in the series, you'll definitely enjoy this game. Honestly, the Mario Kart competitive community is full of so many cool people, so I really hope to see some of them try out Sonic Crossworlds and share their thoughts. It's an insanely fun game, and I'm sure a lot of them would love it if they tried it. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm just going to quickly ramble about a few other comparisons, and this isn't really directly related to the competitive nature, so if you want to go on and do your own thing, go ahead. So one thing that feels weird is that Sonic feels somehow more chaotic, despite having better item balancing and less players. When it comes to Mario Kart, because most players play much more passively and they don't want to attack each other because they want to bag and get speed and dodge items, it makes it so a lot of games are just focused on driving until the last lap where a stock happens, and then everyone uses their shortcuts and attack items to try to get first. So it kind of sucks that the game is basically completely arranged around dealing with the sock or having the sock. I also think that Sonic pulled off the intermission part of the game much better, making it so every second lap is determined by whoever is in the first place. It gives players much more control and incentive to genuinely stay in first. This allows players to choose Crossworlds which don't have many shortcuts, or that they personally like. So basically, the second lap is their way of determining exactly what happens. If you see a bunch of people bagging, you can easily choose a track that doesn't have a bunch of shortcuts. Another thing that Sonic has, which is nice, is that each third lap changes the layout of a track in the way. This includes having new speed boosters which let you go off-road after going on them, and new shortcuts, which honestly I'm still getting surprised by these new shortcuts. Some of them are super hard to miss or super easy to miss. It's just really cool to play through and learn new things constantly, compared to Mario Kart where I feel like once I learn the cool shortcuts, that's basically all there is. Anyway, those are a few of my thoughts. Huge shout out to Swordcat and Liam, as their YouTube videos have helped me learn a lot about what goes through the players' heads when they're playing Mario Kart. So yeah, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll talk to you all later.